It's nice out here today. Stay over here on this side right now. There, let's get that on. There we go.
Robbie Bannister is as sweet and kind as the 4-year-olds he teaches.
We'll just go down the slide and I'll get to go down it. This is my 21st year teaching. I've taught 4K. This is my 19th year teaching 4K. They love to learn and I love to teach and I love to just hang out with them and draw and play.
He's also a creature of habit who thrives on routine.
Now remember, how do we walk to the door? My wife calls me a rule follower and I'm about schedules because I guess, we have to be about schedules in here. That's the only way they learn and they're so used to them and we follow it to a T every single day. So I follow it to a T when I'm not here either. So
Robbie leaves for work at Golden Strip Child Development Center at 6:45 every morning.
Batman. Is this you as Batman, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on September 18th, he was running behind.
I was 5 minutes late leaving. I had forgotten something downstairs, so I went downstairs to get it, and a couple other things. And before when I left, it was 6:50, which I wasn't running late. I was just 5 minutes late leaving that day.
He took his usual route down Pleasantburg Drive, and during his commute, he witnessed a car wreck.
It's still as clear now as it was, a month ago. But I come upon that. I was there when the accident happened, and come upon a scene, and and it was kind of hard. I went to help somebody else, and then when I turned the corner, that's when I noticed someone laying in the road.
That someone was a 13-year-old middle school student who'd been walking his little sister to the bus stop when he was struck by a car.
And for a moment, you're just like, you don't know what's going on. I mean, it's like, for a microsecond, it's like, is this real? And then I was like, oh, it is. And I immediately got out of my car and I went and I did what we train here so many times to do, check the scene. That's what I did first. And then I immediately went to him and noticed he was unresponsive, wasn't breathing, and I knew what I had to do, so I immediately started CPR. And I was doing that and praying as well. I mean, God got me through the situation. Now, he put me there for a reason, and he also, calmed me and helped me to be able to utilize what I knew at that moment. Because as much as we train, it's still different when it's a real person. So at that moment, I was doing the CPR. And I knew I had to call 911 because no one else was there. It was just me. And so I did 30 compressions, which is what we're supposed to do. And then I stopped, and then I got my phone, and I dialed 911 real quick. And then I went talking to her, but I went back to compressions with one arm, one hand.
While Robbie was performing CPR, the teenager coughed and then started to breathe.
I was just like, thank you, Lord. That's the first thing I said, was just thank you, Jesus. That's all I could do, is just thank him for, getting him to the point of where, I knew it was bad, and, and at that moment you just, are praying for the child at that moment. Just the scene breathing was, like, oh, I'm glad he's breathing. But then I just never took my hand off of him. I left my hand on his shoulder because I wanted to make sure he was going to continue to breathe.
Robbie took a few days away from work after the accident. He sought counseling for the trauma and then requested to meet the boy and his family.
Between first time and second time he's up, they actually had gotten him up and sitting him in a chair, and so he's smiling. He can't talk real good because he's got this, thing around his neck, but he was, talking kind of low to us, and I was talking to him, telling him I've been praying for him, thinking a lot about it. I said, you have not been off my mind one moment since that happened, and he just smiled. And I got to meet his parents, and it was very nice to meet them and, just get to give them a hug. And I was, after that happened, I was like, okay, I'm so thankful for this. I'm just thankful, God's got a plan for that boy, and he needed me to intervene, I guess, to help him out a little bit. But I would do it again.
Robbie is continuing therapy, but also relying on prayer and the energy and love of the 4-year-olds who fill his day with joy.
I don't like the word hero. You want to call them heroes. You can call the firemen, the EMS, policemen, doctors and nurses heroes too. Because what I learned from that, what really opened my eyes, is the fact that I did it one time, and it was traumatic, and it's still taking me time to get over it. And yet you have all of those guys I just mentioned doing it multiple times a day, multiple times a week, every day. We're going to walk to the water fountain. Ready? Let's go.
He may not claim the title of hero, but he is one to first responders, to the victim and his family, to the school district that employs him, and to the children who rely on his compassion and quick thinking every day.